Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Catfish Weekly, Catfish Weekly 36. Tonight we're going to be talking about monsters on the Ohio. We got the founder and tournament director and everything all in one, the big man behind the show, Aaron Wheatley on. We got him on the phone. We're gonna talk with him a little bit about the new rules that are going to be in effect, just general information about the tournament, how he thinks pre-fishing's been going, what he's been seeing going on down there around the area, just everything about Monsters on the Ohio tonight. So if you got questions or anything, get on the chat on catfishweekly.com and type them in here, and we'll get them to Aaron and make sure that he sees them and can get you an answer for you. So we got with us Chuck Davidson, Lyle Stokes, myself, Chris Wallace, aka Fudd. Um, I'll go ahead and kick it over to Lyle. Let you get it started with Aaron, and you can get the rules things going, and we'll get it kicked off tonight.
Sounds like a deal. Welcome to the show, Aaron.
Hey, Lyle, so how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing great. Couple of things I wanted to touch on. I noticed this year, not only from you but several other people have been posting pictures of some real quality fish coming out of your pool of water down there, and that's excited me about coming to Owensboro this year.
Yeah, Lyle, I've been on this river about 10 years, and this year right here has been one of the better years that I've been on the water for the bigger fish. There's no question about that. I've had a lot of really good days.
Well, I'm thinking that that's going to transition into some bigger weigh-ins without having to travel so far on the water during the tournament. And it looks to me like that you're going to have another outstanding crowd, and it ought to be just a great tournament.
Yeah, one thing about it, I really haven't been traveling too far from Owensboro to catch big fish. I normally go after work, I only got 4 or 5 hours, so I'm not going to run somewhere else and put in. And to be real honest with you, 5 miles up, 5 miles down from Owensboro has been producing winning weights in any tournament. I promise you that. And yeah, things are definitely picking up. We got probably around 135 boats signed up. I just got probably 8 to 10 more boats today that have paid their way. I haven't got on and haven't put them on yet. I plan to do that after the show, but if all things go right, then I think we should go over the 150 barrier this year. That would be pretty impressive.
That would be outstanding, and we're all glad that you spend the time and the effort to make that what it is. And I think I can speak for everybody that we're just absolutely flopping at the jaws. Can't wait to get down there to see you and get to fish this tournament. One thing I wanted to go over with you, and if you wouldn't mind elaborating on it and to clarify it for not only myself but all the listeners and viewers, is the new regulations that's been put into effect and how it's going to affect the weigh-in of the tournament.
Yeah, well, actually, what happened was back in August, the regs were written up to rod reel in the state of Kentucky on the main stream Ohio River, and what is going to be in effect is 1 blue, 1 flathead over 35 inches, 1 channel cat over 28 inches per license holder. So, that's a little bit different than what we see in Alabama or Tennessee. There's a lot of guys that fish big tournaments down there on regulated waters. That's a little bit different than what you see in West Virginia or Ohio. But it will allow you a couple bigger fish, and it'll give guys that flatly fish a better chance of getting in there and making a run at this thing,
So in essence, you're allowed one of the overs in a channel cat, one of the overs in a blue, and one in a flathead per person.
Per license holder, yes. Now, if you have 3 people in the boat, you're going to have to play by the 2-man rule. We're not going to allow you to bring in extra overs because you have 3 people in the boat. Now, saying that, if you're by yourself and you're planning on fishing monsters on the Ohio by yourself, you're going to put yourself at a disadvantage because we can't allow you two over like a two-man team because the law states 1 over 35 per license holder.
So it's advantageous for people to have the second person in the boat.
Absolutely, yeah. You know, I spoke with a gentleman, he was from Ohio just yesterday, and that didn't seem to bother him. He was like, you know, if my partner can't match it, I understand the rules, and I'll just be on a 1 over 35. He said, you know, I can still weigh 3 fish between 20 and 25 pounds. And I said, yeah, you know, that's the normal. In the Ohio River, a 35-inch fish is going to weigh anywhere from 20 to 25 pounds.
Right. Well, that's I'm glad to have the rule changes, and I know some people be them non-tournament fishermen or tournament fishermen don't always agree with that rule, but we've got to do something to protect these fish, and you guys have got a great start on it, and I'm really glad that you've got it in there. For several years in our tournaments, we've considered putting the 2 over 34 in effect here just in our tournaments, and even though that our conservation department hasn't put that into effect in our tournament areas, and I'm thinking that sooner or later we're going to have to instill this to help push them along to get some things done.
Yeah, I think that's what me and, you know, even the guy up the Rising Sun, I mean, the laws are on the books, but they're actually not going to enforce them until the Fishing and Hunting magazine comes out in February.
Uh-huh.
So we the tournament director, if the law is on the books, we're the ones that work so hard to get these laws that we need to go ahead and start abiding by them and show them that we are in it on the conservation side of it. It ain't all about bringing 5 80-pounders in at one time. You know, it's about bringing good fish in, plus doing what's best for the fishery.
Okay, that's outstanding. Now, when everybody gets there for the meeting the night before the tournament, I'm sure you're going to go over all this again. Are you going to have this written down so everybody can have a copy of something to make sure they don't make a mistake during the tournament?
Yeah, you know, I haven't really thought about that, but that is probably going to be a good idea. One thing we will do is, if you were there last year, we dropped down the big screen that everybody can see as we do overviews of the marking, and that is definitely one thing that will be talked about in the meeting. But yeah, it probably wouldn't hurt to have a copy of that for everyone. That way they know for certain what the deal is, no doubt about it.
Awesome, awesome. Sounds like a great time. It always is a good time, and like I say, Cindy and I are making our plans now, and we've actually had scheduled some tournaments for the next couple of weeks that we backed out on to make sure we got everything prepared to get down there and have ourselves a lot of fun, and you know, as well as everybody else, that I got this little deal going on with Janet, and I got to tell you now, I'm going to be down there Wednesday, and I'm going to be looking for fish, and I plan on putting it on her down there at that tournament.
Yeah, well, I wish you luck on that, buddy, because, you know, Janet and Vika, they got a little head start on you there, Lyle. They've been down here every year, you know.
Well, now, do you realize that they was over in St. Louis over the weekend and fished with Jason Mathena, and I talked to Jason, and Jason told me that she's got her heart set on putting a beating on me down there.
I've been hearing that same rumor.
Yeah, I bet you have.
Yeah, sure have.
All right. Well, listen, Aaron, thanks again for being on the show and clarifying some stuff for us. I'm going to turn you over to Chuck right now so that he can, because I know he's probably got some questions for you, and we'll keep going.
Sounds good.
How you doing, Aaron?
Hey, I'm doing fine. Chuck, how are you doing down there in Alabama, sir?
Oh, it's great down here. Hopefully it'll cool off some. It's been very hot. I'm planning on just driving straight there. Where do you refer everybody to go buy their fishing license and all that when they get into town? Do you have anywhere that is set up and ready to, handle a big crowd?
They are the only tackle and bait suppliers that sponsors on the Ohio, so I would definitely ask the guys that come in from out of town, if you need anything along that line, definitely look up Moore. It's over on Mosley Street. It's not going to be real hard to find, and he's pretty much going to have anything you need. Jim Sparks is a really good guy. He stood up for the regulations here in Kentucky with me, and he is the sponsor, and me and him are good friends, and he's doing his best to get anything and everything that anybody's going to need.
Okay, some of the fishing areas that that you're allowed to fish. If you're going upriver, I've been viewing the Google Earth and all that good stuff because I've never fished the river. So, if I get on up around the Anderson River or something like that, if I wander up on into Indiana up on them rivers, you got to watch out for that because your license isn't any good if you go up and in some of them tributaries. Correct?
That's right. That's right. Now, of course, Kentucky does have an agreement with Indiana that you can fish the Indiana bank with a Kentucky license, but as far as going up into their tributaries, no, you're not allowed to do that. You absolutely have to have an Indiana license to do that. Just as if you're from Indiana and you plan on fishing monsters with an Indiana license, that's fine, but you're not going to be allowed into any of Kentucky's tributaries by law.
Oh, that's great. So let me clarify this fish limit. It's going to be a 5-fish tournament, and you can have one of each species, channel, flat, and blue, one over of each per license holder. So it's going to be a 5-fish limit.
If it's a two-man team, you can bring in 2 blues over 35, you can bring in 2 flatheads over 35, and you can bring in 2 channel cats over 28 inches. Now, Texas is catching a 28-inch channel cat on the Ohio River. So this neck of the wood ain't very good. I don't know that I've ever caught one that big. So I would be more concerned with the blue and the flathead red because, like I said, channel cats 28 inches long are few and far between down in my neck of the woods.
Okay, so you're allowed 5 fish total, and if you're lucky enough to get 2 over on blues and 2 overs on flats, you just got it going on, right?
You're just going to have one under, exactly.
Okay, that's great.
And some guys will say, well, that's just not like Wildcat. We'll agree with that. But to be real honest with you, Chuck, in 4 years, I probably haven't seen 7 boats that had more than 2 fish over 35 inches.
Well, hopefully this year will be different. Every day's different.
Yeah, hopefully this year will be different. We know with the regs put in that 5 or 10 years from now, it'll definitely be different.
Oh yeah. So while I'm up in Owensboro, where's some good places we need to go check out while we're up there? You got any places that you recommend on anybody checking out while they're up in Owensboro?
Yeah, definitely. Owensboro just spent over $200 million on its riverfront. So there's a brand new convention center. There's a brand new park. There's a brand new, the whole downtown area is brand new. You definitely want to get down there and check that out. Owensboro is famous for barbecue. There are a couple really, really good barbecue joints here in Owensboro. One is going to be on Wheatley, and the other one is going to be Moonlight. Old Wheatley is actually the 2013 Pitmaster Champions barbecue place, and Moonlight. Every president I think since maybe Richard Nixon has came and eaten at Moonlight. So that's a couple of good places. There's good steakhouses, the Briar Patch. There's a Texas Roadhouse here. I mean, Owensboro's a pretty big town. We're not, no 100,000 people town, but there's 60, 70,000 people in Owensboro. About anything you want, we got it here.
Okay, that's great. Well, you've clarified a lot. Everybody's been really confused on these, how the weigh-in's going to go, and I want to kind of plan out on what kind of baits I'd like to bring, and to target what types of fish. So that really helped a lot. So I appreciate you being on, and I'll pass you on to Fudd to see if he's got any.
There's not a whole lot of difference between Alabama and Kentucky except for the size of the fish. You're basically going to use the same tactics and basically use the same bait. You're going to find fish on structure, and you're going to find fish in the channels, and you're going to find fish on the drop, just like anywhere. I mean, that's one thing I've learned from fishing all across the country is, some people start to stress out because they've never been there before and they don't know what to do. My best piece of advice for anybody like that is do what you do. It don't change. What you like to fish, find that on this river and fish it.
All right. Well, I appreciate it, Aaron. Thanks for coming on, and I'm gonna pass you on to Fudd. I'm sure he's got some questions to ask you.
How
All
you
right.
doing? How you doing there, Aaron?
What is up, bud?
Oh, not much. I want to let everybody know. I've heard things with the Rising Sun tournament going along. It might pertain to the Monsters on the Ohio as well. There are some fishermen that might believe that a big tournament such as yours, that they'd have to qualify to fish or something like that. Monsters on the Ohio is not one of the. It's not a big qualifying classic tournament or anything. Anybody can register and fish. It doesn't matter. You don't have a trail or anything where people have to basically qualify to fish your Monsters on the Ohio tournament, right?
No, it is an open tournament. It don't matter what skill level. If you think you got what it takes, come on down here and let's find out. It's definitely the place you want to be if you want to test your skills. Because the competition level, me personally, I don't believe you'll find a higher competition level anywhere in the country than what you're going to find right here at this tournament on October 11th.
Yeah. Also, I'd like to tell people, if you've never fished a catfish tournament, but you have a boat, you think that, it might be too confusing. I can tell you right now, his tournament is ran so well that if you're interested in fishing a catfish tournament, you want to get out there, just see what it's all about, have the feeling of being in one of the best tournaments there is for catfishing. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to get registered. Come out, be a part of it. Everything is so step by step. Everything is basically like processed through a factory line. I mean, it is really easy to get out, get your boat put in. The way the registration and everything is, it's all very, very well ran. Probably if you've never fished a catfish tournament, you come out to Monsters on the Ohio, you fish that, you experience what Aaron's put together, you're probably going to be addicted, just so you know. So, just like buying a brand new boat when they say bust out another 1,000, that's what the boat stands for. You get into Aaron's tournament on Monsters on the Ohio, you better be telling the wife that she better be expecting to see you catfishing a lot after that. So.
Yeah, it's definitely turned a lot of people onto the sport. That's one part of it I really love. And I'm lucky to have, I'm not as organized as some of the guys that help me during my tournament are. And organization, man, I get phone calls from guys, we can't make the captain's meeting. There's no way we can be there. And I'll tell them, look, I hate to hear that, but you don't really understand how important the captain's meeting is at Monsters on the Ohio. We go over so many things that if you try to just show up, you're going to be lost. And it don't take the 4 or 5 people lost to mess up the whole thing, So we really take pride in that captain's meeting because we feel that getting you on the right page from jump will keep you organized, which keeps everything running, just as smooth as it does. We try our best to go over everything you're going to do that morning from the time you pull on the road to go to English Park till the time you're pulling off of it to go home. We try to give you a good, roundabout idea of how things are going to go, and I think it helps a lot.
It does help a lot, and whether you even feel like you might be competitive or not, I believe you're doing it the same way this year on just basically giving one of the random entrants the keys to a brand new Sea Arc, right?
Yeah, we will be giving a Sea Arc away, a 17-foot river extreme center console. The good people at Sea Ark, I worked with them with their tournament here in Owensboro, and got to meet some of those people like Robin and Steve and Rachel and those wonderful people. And they're all about the sport of catfishing. And, you know, they have no problem donating a boat to give away just for fishing monsters on the Ohio. You know, you ain't got to win monsters on the Ohio. You ain't got to play in monsters on the Ohio. You don't have to catch a fish in monsters on the Ohio to have a shot at winning, you know, this $9,000 boat trailer.
Yeah, that's incredible. And just in case you guys didn't hear him very well, you don't have to win, you don't have to place. As he said, you don't even have to catch a fish, and you can enter that tournament and just fish it and be a part of it and end up walking away with a brand new Sea Ark boat. And that's just incredible. I mean, that's the fact that Sea Ark, you know, will do that for you, and they're seeing, you know, like you said, they're in it for the sport of catfishing. They have catfish series boats that they're specifically targeted for catfish. Um, it's really nice. I mean, I enjoy fishing it, not only for the chance of winning a Sea Ark or any of that other stuff, like you said, the way it's ran. Um, the first time I fished it, you know, bringing your fish back up to that site of that bank where it's littered with people from all over the town and other towns, surrounding towns, just sitting on that bank, and the drive-through weigh-in, the way that you've got it set up, it really, there's no other experience like it in catfishing, I believe. I think that's one of the things that really sets it apart from other tournaments. So it's a great job that you do, I know for sure. So
Well,
Yeah,
you know, Chris,
I
there's,
appreciate it, you know, I really do. You know, it takes an army, and I got some pretty good soldiers that help me out, and we do our best, man. We're here to enriching the sport of catfishing. That's what it's all about, man. And it's, you know, just like my tournament's growing, catfishing in my town is growing. I can remember 3-4 years ago, there was me and Adam Winder and Jody Bibbins, and we were the only 3 people on the Ohio River ever around here. And now there's 25, 30 guys out there as often as possible. And, you know, it's pretty exciting to see that just right here in my own town.
what were you about to say there, Lyle?
well, you know, one thing that I might add to what we've been going on here, you know, we want everybody that can fish the tournament to be sure and be down there, because it is one of the best run tournaments in the country. And from my perspective, and I've run tournaments for 8 years, this is the best tournament that I've ever been to in the way it's run. But something that I wanted to touch on for a minute is a lot of these guys that think they are tournament directors or think they know how to run tournaments or are already running tournaments. If they want to see how a correctly run tournament is run, it would be worth their time, if they're not even fishing, just to go down there and see how it's done correctly. Because this is, you know, like I say, the smaller tournaments you can't do like Aaron does, because you just don't have the need to do all the things that he does. But these guys that are having big tournaments throughout the United States, if they would go down there and watch and see how Aaron does his tournaments, it's a pattern that they should follow, so they could all be like this.
Yeah, and that's awesome. Like you say, Lyle, and I have no issues with guys learning from me, not one bit. You know, I mean, it's kind of flattering, you know, to hear people say things like that, and I do appreciate it. Yeah, you're exactly right. You want to come down and St. Monsters on the Ohio is the best run tournament in the country. You want to know how it's done, there's no better way to find out than to be here. And, you know, you're not just going to be sitting around waiting for the guys to come weigh in either. I mean, there's stuff going on from 12 o'clock to 6 o'clock at night. You know, there's live music, there's vendor booths, there's food booths, there's inflatables for the kids, there's an archery and a casting contest for the kids, there's door prizes. Lyle's actually a part of, you know, one spectator is going to go and get to fish the Mississippi River with Russ DeVore, and Lyle's making a couple rods for him, and Russ is going to put a reel on it. I mean, you know, we got door prizes from Academy Sports, one of the big mean, you know, you can come down here and have a great time and not just be sitting around waiting. You know, there's a lot going on besides the tournament.
Yeah, another good thing, you know, if they really do want to get down there and get an inside perspective of what it's like to do these tournaments and stuff, you have a lot of great volunteers, and I'm sure they could, you know, volunteer, get with you and set up to volunteer at a future.
You want to get on the inside, we'll take all the help we can get. I'll tell you that right now. You can't never have enough help.
Yeah. And the entire town, really, when you get to Owensboro, you'll see the entire town is really behind this tournament. You know, everybody there, they're really hospitable to all the people that are there fishing the tournament. There's some towns that you get to where they could care less whether you're there or not. You know, this isn't like that at Owensboro, so it's a really nice place to be. And
the thing with that, Bud, is going to be the advertising that we do, the radio that we do, the newspapers, the magazines. You know, a lot of these towns, you go in these tournaments and they don't even know you're there. You come to Owensboro, this town knows what's going to be happening on October 11th down at English Farm. And you know, they love it. I mean, Owensboro has ranked the #1 sports town in the state of Kentucky, and there's a reason for that. You know, they don't just give those kind of remarks away. You know, it's something that this town has earned. And I think a lot of the guys that fish this tournament, you know, see that. I can remember a couple of years ago, Jeff Dodd came and fished monsters on the Ohio. And after it was over, he sat down with me and he said, Aaron, I don't know what you're doing, man. He said, but my goodness, he said, I can't even hardly go to the bathroom around here without somebody knowing I'm fishing the monsters on the Ohio. And he said, we don't see that anywhere. And that's, like I said, that has a lot to do with the advertising and the work we do getting the word out to people.
yeah. Yeah, I'm sure that you don't spend a ton of money in advertising around the country. About most of your advertising is word of mouth. So, I mean, that's just lets you know how well a tournament's ran to how fast it's grown, how big it is, with simply word of mouth advertising, basically.
Definitely. Us advertising, other fishermen advertising for us. You know, you get a guy that fishes a local series, and he comes down here and he loves it, and he shares that with his friends, and the next thing you know, just like the ICA, or just like the Sweet Cat, or just like the Ohio Hills, or just like the Potomac River Monster Catters, the whole group is coming, man, and that is just awesome, you know.
Yeah. Oh, real quick before we keep going here, I got 5 more people of the angler spotlights that I'm gonna do for people who've been posting on Catfish Weekly's Facebook page. So Travis Boggs, Heath Malone, Paul Fink, Kelly Pennell, and of course Brown Catfishing, always posting their updates for all the Catfishing's Winter Circle, I believe is what it's called, on Facebook. Thanks to all you guys for still posting on Catfish Weekly. We really enjoy it. Everybody, when you sign up and you ask to be accepted into the group, once you get in, look through your computer, find a couple pictures of some fish you caught. Introduce yourself, put the pictures up there, tell a story about some fish that you've caught. That's all great content, and people love reading that kind of stuff. So keep it up, guys. Thank you very much for posting. We really do this show for all the people who are enjoying it, and the fans and everything, and it's really growing. We hope to keep it growing and to keep doing a good job. If you guys ever have any suggestions for us or anything, we have the forums. Our emails are on our banner, so you can email us or get on our forums and message us or do whatever. We're willing to do what we can to make the show as good as we can. So beyond that, we'll get back to Aaron. So Aaron, I know that you were just recently bait fishing, but the bait fishing around there, how's that going right now? Is the bait looking good, or?
But I said, did you say how's the fishing going around here?
The bait fishing.
The bait is a little sporadic right now. I've been going to Pottsville, Louisburg, Hamilton, the beach stars up here above Owensboro, OMU. If you're there at the right time, you're going to catch some. They haven't fully moved in yet, but things are really starting to pick up. I was just down at the OMU earlier this afternoon, and you know there were quite a few 4, 5, 6, 7 inch skipjacks in there, and they just continued to grow over the last month. I've been kind of down there watching them. I know that probably sounds silly, but that's just the way I am. They are definitely growing. So, you know, 2, 3 weeks from now, you know, there may be several 10, 11, 12 inch skipjacks, like, you know, just 4 miles up from the boat ramp here in Owensboro. I was actually out on the Green River Sunday, and that if you like to fish with shad, you're not going to have an issue with fishing with shad because that thing is plumb full of shad right now. 4 or 5 inches, you know, definitely fishable size shad. Actually, I was sitting out there fishing with a guy I'd never been before, and we kept seeing these black clouds coming down the Green River, and I told him, I said, you know, watch this. And when the black clouds come on us, and I threw that cast net, as soon as it hit the water, I pulled it up. I didn't let it fall in, and it was plumb full of 4-inch shad. So if you need shad with the Green River, there's a couple boat ramps. There's one actually probably 8 miles up the Auburn Parkway, which is really close to the Ramada. And then there's another boat ramp in Pottsville. And if you want to skipjack at Pottsville, once you put in the boat ramp there, you just have to walk through the overhead dam that's right there. And right below that dam is where people have been catching them, you know. But like I said, they've been pretty sporadic, but they are starting to pick up.
Aaron, how far are you from Cumberland City for those that want to run down there and try to get some skipjack?
Cumberland City's about 2.5 hours away. If you look at Kentucky and Barkley Lake, you're about 1.5 hours away. And actually, I've got Jim hooked up with a guy from Alabama, and Jim Clark, the Baltimore, is going down to Alabama this weekend and pick up 600 Alabama skipjacks that will be vacuum sealed and just caught this week. So, you know, worst case scenario, I know a lot of guys, of course, like to fish with fresh bait. I know I do, but I have been catching fish on frozen bait. You know, as long as it's not older than a month old, I've been doing really well with frozen bait. So, you know, worst case scenario, if you got to have some skipjack, my man at Baltimore is going to have them for you here.
Good deal. Good deal.
At Bass and More, is that where you said at?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Trying to think if I got anything else for you about the Monsters tournament there, Aaron. You said the Monsters on the Ohio, just so people know, is a $200 entry fee. That's correct?
Yes, that is correct.
Okay, $200 entry fee. The host hotel's a Ramada, but there's plenty of hotels around town. If I know it's getting later in time, I don't know if Ramada will still have rooms available or not. But there's also all the information to, if you want to register, if you want more information about it, their website is monstersontheohio.com. I believe you say you have about 10 more boats that have registered and paid right now, then you're up to about 95 boats right now that are registered and paid. Is that about right?
Yes, that is right.
So, yeah, I mean, he's definitely going to have quite a few boats that are going to show up and register and pay to fish to the day of the tournament, you know, so if you want to do that, you're probably more than welcome to do that as well.
Yeah, you're more welcome to do that, but there is a little bit of catch to that this year. There is a $20 late fee if you don't pay before October the 4th, but we're not going to keep that money. We're going to put that money into the big fish, because what happens when guys don't register or don't enter until the night of the tournament, you know, that makes us have to bring in people to do registration easier for us if you go on and register and get your entry fee paid before. It would definitely help us out when it comes to the night of the meeting.
Okay. And what did you say there was going to be a hard limit this year?
Say that one more time.
I couldn't make that out. What did he say, Lon?
He want to know what you said, Chuck. Chris.
Was there going to be a hard limit to the number of boats that can join? A cap?
There's going to be a limit to the number of boats?
Yeah, are you going to have a cap on the amount of entries you're going to take?
Heck no, man.
Bring them on, huh?
Actually, the county is actually took possession of a boat ramp that was owned by the Army Corps of Engineers that is about 3.5 miles up from, downriver from English Park. It's not the greatest. They got work to do on it, but they will have it accessible for Monsters on the Ohio if we need it. But I feel comfortable that we could get 160 boats at English Park alone. So until we reach that number, I think we'll be fine. And if we go over that, then we have another boat ramp that's got about 80 slips in it. So we have the potential of easily holding 240 boats.
Holy crap. Well, I hope it makes it to that.
Yeah, that's the plan, to continue to grow like it has been, and the sport continues to grow like it has been. I don't think it's out of the question, man. I just really don't.
Aaron, tell us about the prize you have for the top male-female type team that we've got this year.
Yeah, we've added a few extra things actually this year. Actually, we've had Wheatley Pearl and Never Snag Anchors and a little bit of money chipped in from Monsters on the Ohio, and we're going to pay $500 to the highest finishing male and female team. We're going to pay. I got an individual from Owensboro that just loves to come to the weigh-in and loves big fish, and he told me that he's going to bring 5 $100 bills, and whoever catches the biggest fish over 50 pounds is going to get an extra $500. We're also going to do the I Got Skunk at Monsters on the Ohio. That's going to be Owensboro Science Park that's going to be sponsoring that. And if you don't weigh a fish in, we're going to put your boat number in a hat, and we're going to pull it out, and one of those teams that got skunked is going to win $300, and they're going to get a Monsters on the Ohio I Got Skunked at Monsters on the Ohio flag that they're going to have to fly till the next year.
Well, I know I don't want that, and I'm pretty sure that Chris and Chuck don't want it either. But that's a really good deal to keep everybody interested, and everybody's got a chance at winning something down there, and that's outstanding that you come up with those kind of sponsors and people that are willing to donate their time and money to prizes like that.
Yeah, just that, it adds some fun to it. We used to do the small fish, but once you get this many boats, you need to keep that weigh-in going as fast as possible, and weighing that small fish would take up time, so we want to keep everything going as fast as possible, because I've been to plenty of tournaments, and, you get the boat on the trailer, and then you're sitting there for an hour waiting to weigh in, or you're sitting out on the water for an hour waiting to get your trailer back in, and that's the stuff after you've been fishing all day that will aggravate you a little bit. I mean, it does me, maybe not everybody. So we try to keep everything just, boom, boom, boom. You go out, you catch your fish, you get your boat out of the water, you get in the line, we get you weighed in, and you come down and watch the rest of the weigh in. You don't spend your time in the truck waiting to get weighed in.
Yeah, it's really cool, and and I'm going to hit on a few of these people, and you can add to it, and I'm sure Chris and Chuck will be able to too. But for the people that doesn't realize the amount of people that's coming down there, we're going to have Jeff Dodd, and we're going to have Daryl and Jason Massengill, and we're going to have the boys from, like you were saying, the Potomac River Monster Cat people will all be there, and Vince and Janet and Bink Fox is going to be there, and Doc Lang's going to be there. I mean, just the list just goes on and on and on of big name catfishermen that's going to make this tournament.
The Kearns boys, yeah.
Start naming them because you're going to leave somebody out. But
oh yeah.
You can't forget about the Cabela's champions, Carl Morris and Jeremy Martin. You can't forget about the basketball point champion Larry Muse. I mean, it just goes on and on and on. You can't forget about Dale Kearns and Matt Kearns, the defending champions. I mean, Scott Webb, the first-year champion. You talk about Willie Smith. It just, the list goes on and on and on and on. I mean, it's amazing to see all these guys come together in one spot. And don't let me forget about Justin Hedges and Rodney Hall. They've been in my tournament. This will be their 5th year. They've been in the top 5 every year. There is definitely some high caliber fishermen. You look at Casey Tudor, John LeMasters, who's been dominating in the ICA, for the last 2 years. And like you said, the guys from Ohio Hills and the guys from Missouri, and Russ and Wow and Hans and all them guys. I mean,
Jason Mathena and Jason is as tough as anybody I know. Him and Adam make a good team, and you throw a Vicky in with them. If they're a team that's to reckon with everywhere they go. I mean, they're just outstanding fishermen.
Yeah, like I said, man, it's just amazing to see all these guys come together at one time for one tournament. And I do believe that Monster's about the only one that gets that, man.
Yeah, and we don't want to forget about Doug Rice. He's the Facebook for Sea Arc. He's going to be down there fishing with Justin Wolf, and them guys are going to have a blast.
Yeah, like I said, I ain't start naming names because I know I forgot somebody. There's no doubt about it. I'm going to get a phone call. Well, what about me?
Yeah.
We can't forget about Rob Benningfield. Rob Benningfield is one of the best fishermen in this country. He's a real good friend of mine. He's from Bowling Green. He's won tournaments on the Mississippi, on the Tennessee, on the Ohio. It just goes on and on and on and on. So if I forgot anybody, I didn't mean to offend you. You are a great fisherman. There's no doubt of that in my mind. But that's just the name right off the top of my head.
Yeah, and the Johnny B. Hyder is going to be down there. There's just a bunch of guys from every walk of catfishing. If they've ever been in any kind of a tournament of any size at all, and even if they haven't, they're going to be there. I mean, Brent Riddle's going to be there. What did Brent get down there last year? 3rd place or something like that?
Yeah. Brent's a real good fisherman, of course. Yeah, he come in and pulled in 3rd place. Joe Lucky and Jerry Klein Sr. will be here.
Yep.
I was actually on the phone today with Junior, and I'm trying to tell him to man up, get Farrell, and him and Mark Farrell come on down there and get him some of this.
I'm telling you right now, if Jerry Klein II would get Mark Farrell and get in that boat, that is another top-notch team that we'd all have to deal with.
I'm sure Steve Douglas will be there as well, right?
Yeah, Steve Douglas will be there. Him and Lisa will be fishing, won't they?
Yes, Steve will be here. Like I said, we could go on and on and on and on and on about who's going to be here, and that's awesome.
Yeah, and it is. You just can't imagine the quality of fishermen and the amount of fun that it goes on in that place until you've experienced it. You just can't.
So there's no way about it. And, one thing about these newer, we're trying to draw in newer people. I mean, where else could you learn more about catfishing in 1 week than right here? And not just at the tournament, it's a big shindig at the motel for 3 or 4 days. Everybody's running around sharing stories, half-truths on information, everything that comes along with the tournament, man. Just to be at the Ramada around those guys is so much.
Last year we got down there and we got down there a day or two early, and and I'd called you because we hadn't been down there to make sure that we could get entered and all that stuff. And as with most places we go, our motel room kind of has an open door and people run in and out of it all the time, and we enjoy that. But Vince and his partner, Vince Nagowski, and his partner was fishing room next to us, and and they pulled in and opened up the door to their motel room, and the people hadn't finished fixing the air conditioner, and they didn't have that going on, and got it done. And then the people down there, they didn't realize at the motel they hadn't got that done. They took care of them, got them another room. But in the meantime, everybody's standing out there having a big time and laughing and carrying on. And you know, you see a doc lying, and you've got a question to ask you, and there's nobody on earth that would rather talk catfishing than Doc Lang. He'll tell you the right stuff. He'll tell you what he believes is right. And, you know, everybody down there is like that. And that's the kind of thing that separates the catfishing guys from the rest of the fishing world.
Yeah, absolutely. Five years ago, I hardly knew any of these guys. And just by approaching them and speaking with them, and I've built a lot of good friendships through catfishing, and it's you know, they're very approachable. Don't think they're not. It don't matter if it's the Laughing Gale or Larry Hughes or who Carl Morris. It don't matter. It's a brotherhood. You know,
That's right.
It's a brotherhood.
That's exactly right. Now we had Vince had left me a message on here on our live chat that where else in the world is there a chance of seeing Ryan Casey doing karaoke other than Monsters of the Ohio?
Yeah, Ryan Casey has been known to tear it up up there at the Ramada in that little bar they got. I heard he was one of the fan favorites.
I think he was, and I know last year he fished that with Jason Jackson, and Jason was posting these pictures of him about as fast as Ryan could sing in songs, and it was quite the deal. So you just gotta, you know, if you like to catfish and you're interested in competitive catfishing, this is for sure the place to be.
I tell you what, at that Ramada, when there's, I don't even know, probably 60 or more boats there. One of the hardest things is actually getting to bed, because I mean, you're gonna be talking to guys, and I mean, it's just gonna be an experience in itself out in the parking lot for as long as you're there. It is really good time.
I'm not trying to blow anything part of our business up or anything, but I have a list right now of stuff that I have to take down for people at this tournament, and I'm not getting calls about it every day, but I'm getting 4 or 5 calls a week of, can you bring me this or can you bring me that, and you know, that happens at other places we go, but not to this extent.
Right, and it's good that it's working like that for you, Al. That's the reason we do what we do. We are trying to grow the sport, and we're definitely trying to help companies that are in the sport, and definitely, you know, get that together at one time. It's definitely a good place. If you own a rod company, or if you own a base tackle store or whatever, you know, you want to meet these guys. Here's the reason to do it, you know.
Yep, I agree, Aaron. It's a great time, and like I say, we sat down and made our list out at the first of the year of the tournaments that Cindy and I was going to fish, and this was the top on the totem pole. This was the #1 pick that we had. If we had to choose one tournament to go to, including the tournaments that we do ourselves, this would have been the one.
Well, I appreciate that, and you know, and I'm not saying anything bad about any other tournament or any other tournament director. They all do a great job.
Absolutely.
And they do what they do, and we do what we do, and we support them. We hope that they support us, and that's the way it should be.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right.
Aaron, I got another question for you.
Okay.
On your website, and I know last year you had your captain's meeting at the church. Have you guys decided? I know it says to be announced on there. Have you decided where that captain's meeting is going to be at?
Yeah, we're going to have it back at our regular. Now, I don't believe we're going to have a meal this year. I know that may upset people. Last year was actually the first year we've done that.
Hang on a sec there, Aaron.
Aaron, hang on a second. There's a train going by, and I got my window open. It's drowning you out.
Okay.
I think it's done blowing its whistle now. You can try her again.
Okay. like I said, the captain's meeting will be at Our Lady of Lourdes Parish Hall. We'll get that on the website. We're probably not going to have a meal this year. Last year was the first year we did that. We wanted to see how that would go. What it basically did is it ran us ragged. We went out of there till 12 o'clock at night, and then we had to be back there at 3 o'clock in the morning. Now, we still will have the door prizes at the captain's meeting. We still will have the meeting, but it's going to help everybody get out there a little faster, because I did hear some chatter about, well, this took too long and that took too long, and we were ready to get back to the room. So, that's fine and dandy. I can understand that. I was ready to get home myself, and I think it was a little bit overbearing on us last year. So that's probably something we're not going to do this year until we can afford to have someone come in and cater that thing and clean up behind us. That's probably something we're going to put on hold. But like I said, the captain's meeting will be at Our Lady of Lourdes, Captain's Parish Hall at 5 p.m., and that's going to be Central Time. We'll have booths set outside with some vendors, shirt and hoodie booths out there for guys that want to buy stuff from Monsters on the Ohio. We'll have registration out there. We'll have the kiosk that we're going to give away out there. Hopefully we can get everybody in the building by 5 o'clock. So if you're going to register or check in, guys probably need to start coming at about 4, because we want to be in the building at 5 o'clock. Our feeling is within an hour and a half, we can have you guys out of there by 6:30, and you can go back and get done what you need to get done before the tournament, before the live well starts. Live well check started 4 o'clock Saturday morning.
All right, that sounds good. Are they going to be doing the hamburgers or whatever? Did you say
No.
no on the?
No, we're not going to do food this year.
No food, and not doing the door prizes during that time either. You're going to do them after the weigh-ins or what?
No, we are going to do door prizes at the captain's meeting.
Okay.
Quite a few of the door prizes. We will save some for after the tournament, but we will do the majority of the door prizes for the fishermen at the captain's meeting.
All right.
And we do have some really nice door prizes. So if you can make it with your partner, you're probably going to want to be there, because I know right offhand that we got $500 worth of gift cards from Academy Sports we'll be giving away at the captain's meeting.
Yep, there definitely was some good door prizes last year. I remember I won, I believe I won an anchor, and
Right.
somebody else won the ICA. Somebody from Kentucky won the ICA membership, and I bought that off of them for cheap. So it worked out all right.
Yeah. Yeah, we have stuff from Whisker Wear Apparel, and we're going to have stuff from Whisker Rip Rods and Tangle with Catfish and Never Snag Anchors and Fashion Lore and Academy Sports and CR Boats, and that's one thing about it. We do end up with plenty of stuff to give away for free.
Yeah, definitely looking forward to it. I can't wait. I know we've had you on the phone here for a while, so if nobody else has anything from you, we might be able to let you thank anybody you want to thank or anything like that. Let you get a closing statement out and go ahead and get off the phone with us, and we can close out the show. So does any of you guys got anything else for Aaron?
The only thing I would say is, Aaron, thank you for everything you do, and thanks for being on the show and help clear up some stuff tonight, and I'm looking forward to seeing you in a couple of weeks.
Yep, me too. Anybody out there that's planning on coming, if you got questions, call me. I won't say I can answer the phone all the time, but I will get back with you. I'm pretty good about answering the phone, and I don't mind helping you out with anything, be it spots where to look for fish, bait, whatever. I'll do my best.
Chuck, you got anything for Aaron?
I just want to say thanks, Aaron, for being on and giving us a scoop on ahead of time on how everything's going to work. And um, I can't wait for 2 weeks to get down there and meet y'all, meet everybody, and Leanne's met a lot of good friends on Facebook, also female friends that have husbands and boyfriends that fish. And her and Rena Stitcher have gotten really good friends over the past year. They talk on the phone every day, and they're really excited about them two getting to hang out for 4 days. So I mean, it's just going to be a great time for everyone, and I'll see y'all in 2 weeks.
Yeah, I can't wait to meet you, Leanne. Chuck, I know this will be y'all's first time up here, and Ray and her husband, they're coming. They're part of the Potomac River Monster Caddy, so they're coming a long way, and it's exciting to have more women get into the sport, man. Because it's not just a guy thing. It's just it's as much for the kids and for the women as it is for the guys. They just haven't experienced it, and I think the ones that have, really, really, really enjoy it. And I enjoy having the women come and fish the tournament and the kids. There's a few teams that have brought their kids this year, and that's how we grow this sport. We get these 8, 9, 10, 11, 12-year-old kids out here on this water, and we bring them to tournaments like Monsters on the Ohio, and we show them, what this is all about. And how can you help but not love it?
Oh yeah, it's going to be great, and we'll see you in a couple of weeks, Aaron.
Absolutely, Chuck. It'll be good to meet you, my friend. And,
Hey, Aaron.
This winter, don't you worry.
Hey, Aaron, do you know if Tim and Milan sites are going to be there this year?
I did get a message from Tim just a couple of days ago, and he absolutely told me he was going to do everything he can to get down here. So I suspect he'll be back. Yeah.
Okay, well, I come to know them through some business deals, but I met Milan. You was talking about young kids and young ladies and women, and she is the most outstanding young lady that I had met in a long time. She loves to fish. She catches some really good flatheads up their way in Pennsylvania. And we had the pleasure of having dinner with Tim and Milan last year. They sat there at your dinner, and just an outstanding young lady. And I hope that they can make it back. And you people that want to meet a really fine young lady, Milan Sites is the person you want to see.
Yeah, actually, it's funny that you mentioned them because the day after the tournament, they wanted just to hang out and talk to me for a little while. So I actually went down on the river and spent some time with Tim and Milan. And yes, you're right. She's a very bright young lady. Tim seems to be a really good dude. And it's people like that, like Tim and Milan, that we need in our sport.
That's right. I agree. Okay, Chris.
All right, Aaron, if you got anybody that you want to thank or anything that you want to close off with, go ahead and let it out here, and we'll let you go.
Absolutely. There's one guy that's been with me from the very beginning of this, and, some people might think it's butt kissing or whatever. You can call it what you want, but it is what it is. But I've really had a good friend in Steve Douglas, and Monster Rod Holders has really been a real good sponsor, and Steve has spent plenty of dollars promoting my tournament and coming to Owensboro and taping and just going out of his way to help make Monsters on the Ohio what it is. And I just want to give Steve a shout out and just tell him I appreciate everything he does. None of us are perfect, because if we are, there would be more than one Jesus Christ. As far as I know, there's only one. And Steve has really been a major asset to Monsters on the Ohio. So, I just want to give him a big shout out. Monster Rod Holder, Steve Douglas, thank you so much for what you've done for us.
All right. That all you got, or you got some more?
I can go on and on and on. Kentucky Outdoors, the magazine, and Doug Moody Deer have been a big part of this. Of course, Robin and Steve and Rachel at Sea Arc and Rick at Academy Sports and Mike at Never Snag Anchors. And I'm trying to think, for some reason, having lost was the guy's name with the wear apparel. What is his name?
Rob Clotterfield.
Yeah, there you go, Rob. That's right. Yeah, Rob. Rob had jumped on board, and and all my local sponsors, be it BJ Odds Dentistry, be it Tyler Boat here in Owensboro. If you're in Owensboro and you're fishing monsters and you're having an issue with your boat, Tyler Boat is who you need to call. Whatever he's doing, he's going to put it down, and he's going to get you fishing that tournament. So if you need anything, look him up on the internet, TylerBoats.com. He's right across the bridge here in Owensboro, about 5 miles. He's one of the best guys I know. I got Stuart Puff at Owensboro Pines, Jim West at Evergreen, Aaron Bullington at the Imperial Lawn Service. I mean, it just goes on and on and on. And luckily, a lot of these guys aren't just my sponsors; they're my friends, and that's what makes this thing happen. Is the sponsors, and people need to get out there. They need to support these. They need to support these people that are sponsoring this tournament, because if they don't get support, they're going to disappear. And this tournament can do the same thing. I mean, the sponsors are a big role in what happens at Monsters on the Ohio. So I just ask that, guys and gals and children, support the people that help get this done, definitely, because that's what makes things happen. Monsters on the Ohio is a pretty expensive shindig, and I couldn't pay for it by myself. I'll tell you that right now.
That's for sure. All right, well, Aaron, like the other guys have already said, I thank you for coming on the show with us and doing what you do with the Monsters on the Ohio. Hopefully everybody watching the show will get a chance to come fish it this year, if not this year, in the future. It's definitely worth driving to, no matter where you're at in the U.S. Get over here and be a part of this tournament. It's the top one in the country.
Yep, absolutely. I mean, we got boats. I'm pretty sure from about 17 states. I got guys that are driving, 13, 14 hours one way just to get here, man. So that says a lot right there. I don't know that I would drive 13 or 14 hours to fish a tournament, but some of these guys have the love for the sport like that, and they're going to jump in their trucks, and they're going to hook up their boats, and they're going to grab their partner, and they're going to drive that 700 or 800 miles just to get here, and that's just amazing to me.
And just for an example, before we get you off of here, last year, what do you think you gave away in cash and prizes?
Well, last year was 124 boats at $150 a piece, and then you're looking at, oh man, it was probably $45,000 with cash and prizes last year.
Yep, 45,000 is probably, what is it, about 5,000 for big fish, somewhere in that area, 3,500.
Fish last year was 124 times 20, so it was $2,480. Actually, this year we're going to do big fish and second big fish, so there's going to be $20 per team in the big fish, and another $10 in per team for the second biggest fish. So if you got 150 boats, I did a little rough estimate on Facebook the other day. 150 boats, you would have a $3,000 big fish, you'd have a $1,500 second biggest fish. The winner would win $8,000. I think there were 5 spots over $1,000. We're going to pay back 25 spots. There's a lot to be won. There's no doubt about that.
Yep. And really, and it ain't even about the money. It's really about that experience and the enjoyment of it. But you get a little bit of money to pay for the gas and everything. That's just a plus.
Right. If we were out there catfishing for the money, there wouldn't be many guys catfishing.
Yeah.
We definitely do it for the love. But this is one good opportunity to come to a tournament, and if you do well, you can actually win some money. Come ahead, get ahead for once. I know it's expensive fishing tournaments. I don't fish a lot of tournaments, but I do fish a few, and I know that just like I went to Metropolis and fished a tournament, that was for 3 days. That was $500 just myself. I know it's expensive. I know that no one's out there making a living catfishing, and we're still doing it. That just shows you how much love there is for this sport out there.
Yep. Well, I'm going to go ahead and let you go, Aaron. Again, thanks for coming on the show. And again, thanks for everything you do. So,
All Yep, not a problem, man. I'll be waiting to see you and that whole crew from the ICA, man. I'm glad you guys will be down here in Ryle and stuff. And, we're going to have a good time down here in about 17, 18 days. Just depends on how early you decide to come on down and get you some of that Ohio River.
Yep. All right. Well, have a good one, Aaron. Thanks again.
Yep, thank you for having me on, guys. We'll see you here shortly.
All right, buddy.
All right, take it easy.
All right, have a good one.
Yeah, and just so everyone knows, we've talked about it a little bit every week now, but, Catfish Weekly is going to be doing some filming and stuff down there. We're going to try to do some live filming, and then we're also going to have some, try to put some stuff, some film together and, put a special episode together and put it on YouTube and put it on the website and everything. So a little bit of both going on. But with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and start getting everybody getting their closing line out so we can get this show wrapped up. So I'll start with you, Chuck.
I really don't have anything. Our next tournament for the Alabama Catfish Trail is the end of October. So, we know for a fact that our launching spot changed because we have they're going to be dropping the water. We found out 4 to 5 feet on the lake for the people who's wanting to repair piers and all that stuff. So that's going to be about right. So the launch we was going to use, we would have to back the trailers up in mud for 150 yards to be able to put the boat in there. So I'll have all that information next week, and I'll see everybody then.
All right, Lyle.
Just wanted to let everybody know that the year-end tournament for Twisted Cat Outdoors will be October 25th and 26th in Keokuk, Iowa. Trying to get everything finalized and get it all put out there this week if everything goes right. Should have more information for that next week, and anybody that can conceivably in their wildest dreams of fishing a great tournament, if you can make it to the Monsters of Ohio, you will not be sorry. It is a great place to fish, and even if you don't fish, you will have the time of your life down there. It's awesome.
All right, that all you got?
That's it, buddy.
All right. I want to let everybody know that this next weekend in Carrollton, Kentucky, the Ironman, ran by Chad Wall, is going to be going on. It's a newer tournament. It's a lot of fishing. It's a 7 a.m. to 2 p.m. It's a two-weigh-in tournament all in one day. But it's 7 a.m. to 2 p.m. is the first stretch and the first weigh-in. You'll come in at 2 p.m., weigh in your fish. And then that 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. is sort of a little break where you can do your weigh-in, get lunch, do all that kind of stuff, and then you'll go back out at 5 p.m. and fish till midnight. It's a lot of fishing, a lot of time on the water. You come back in at midnight, do your second weigh-in. I really recommend that you get if you're coming from very far away at all, get a hotel room for the night before and the night after, because it's going to be a long drive after fishing that many hours on the water. It's a $125 entry fee. $25 of it goes to the big fish pot. I do know that Jonathan Herndon will be there filming for the Maximum Catfishing TV show. He's not going to be fishing, but he's just definitely going to be there filming and trying to get some content in to add into his show that's going to be, I believe it's going to premiere on World Fishing Network in October, so really soon. He's trying to get that in as soon as possible so he can get that on this year's season. So besides that, of course we have I believe the Ironman is next weekend. Week after that I don't have anything, and then Monsters on the Ohio. So got a lot of stuff coming up. The advertising on the website, I know one of the two spots is about to be gone. If you notice, I mean they're slowly but surely picking up. As a matter of fact, I was contacted about another spot too, but I'm sure we can add more spots. Scott Wiseman is going to be taking up one of the spots for the Hoosier Whiskers Trail that he's recently started. And that's $30 for 3 months, $50 for 6 months. And I believe that's like a 300 by 300 pixel ad. and that's on the catfishweekly.com website that'll be at. Also, we got a new super fan this week. That's slowly starting to pick up. Seth McAllister, thank you for becoming the newest super fan. We appreciate it. We got you added to the group. We're going to work on adding more content and more members to that group. Some of the top catfishermen, we want to try to get into that group, so that way if you guys got questions, you can ask, and they'll be there to answer and help out, hopefully.
Rob from Whisker Wear Apparel will be at the Ironman tournament also, Chris.
Yep, okay, yeah, Rob says he'll be there. So definitely look for him. Maybe he might even bring some shirts and stuff to buy. Maybe hook up with him, buy a couple T-shirts from the guy. They're great T-shirts, hoodies. He's got all kinds of stuff.
I might want to start thinking about them sweatshirts before long.
Yeah.
You make some great sweatshirts.
Yeah, and it's going to be. I looked at the weather for this coming Saturday morning. I believe it's going to be 58 degrees. So that's definitely sweater and jacket weather. You know, if you and I'm pretty warm natured. You know, I don't even need to put one on most of the time. But 58 degrees, I'll have something on guaranteed. But let's see. I think the forums we've been having a little bit of problem with spam on the forums. I'm going to get that taken care of hopefully sooner than later. I've just got a lot going on. As soon as I see it, I delete it, and the other guy and Chuck and Lyle do that as well. But get on the forums, register, start posting some content on there. Definitely a place we want to get kicked off and get going right. So thanks again, everybody, for watching. Have a good night. Till next time, and definitely at Ironman, stay out of my spot.